Welcome back to the Enlightened Misfits podcast. I am your host, Lauren, and this is the place where we bridge soul, science, strategy, and help you unlock the most authentic, powerful, and purpose-driven life. Today, I am incredibly honored, and I have a special guest joining us, Anthony Cudjo. He is also widely known as Coach Cujo, is the founder and the head coach of Human Optimization 3.0, or you might see, if you're watching this, you'll see behind him on YouTube, you'll see H30. And I am so excited to get into what that means because I know all of you listeners or watchers are going to be really intrigued with, like, wait a second, we can just start here. But he is also called the teacher of teachers, the leader of leaders, and for a good reason. His life work is devoted to helping people reconnect with their divine intelligence, which we all love listening on this podcast, with their human DNA, and harmonizing the three power centers that we always talk about, which is the spirit, the mind, and the body. So welcome, Coach Cujo. I'm so happy to have you here with us. And I could read and read and read on and on your story, but I want to hear your story in your own words.
Well, you know what, Lauren? Thank you so much for having me as a guest on your show. It is an honor, and I mean this. It's a complete honor to be here. And I want to thank every listener that's listening to the show today as well, that you have taken time out of your busy schedule and you're listening to something that could potentially, now listen to what I just said, potentially help you to master your human existence and to become a masterful creator, because you're already a creator. There's nothing you can do about it. It's the way you were created. It's in your DNA. What we have to do now is learn how to put both of our hands on the wheel and drive with both eyes open. This is what I love about your show. The name of your show is what? Enlightened Misfits?
Yeah.
My God, Lauren, that is me. I consider myself as being enlightened, and I know for sure that I am a misfit. What do I mean by that? I will not ever fit into humans' mold. I choose not to fit into society's mold or what society has said about me, because society does not know me. There's only one person who really knows me, and it's my creator. And I'm here to talk to you today about how powerful you are because you are a human being. End of story. End of story. You are powerful. And I want to talk about that today and teach you how to tap into that power right now.
I love that. I can feel the power. And if you're listening, you can also feel the power for that. So tell the listeners a little bit about what the Human Optimization 3.0 or the H30 is. Like, what is this? How does this help people? What is it? Tell us all the things.
Yes, ma'am. H30 is a culmination. Human Optimization 3.0 is a culmination of the 38 years of me working with human beings and working with myself at the same time, me first. The philosophy I have with my life is me first. And what I mean by that is before I give you anything, I have to have it first. I need to understand it first. So at the end of the day, there were things that I went through in my own life. I had tragedy in my life. I had a lot of death in my life from friends and family around me. I went through my own physical challenges. I was supposed to go to the NFL. I ended up injuring myself my freshman year of college. So my football career was over. I had all of my eggs in that basket. So, of course, all of a sudden, I can't play football. So I didn't know who I was anymore. I went into about a year and a half of depression. And I realized some things when I came out of that depression. I got to a point where I said, enough's enough. I'm just done. I'm not going to live like this. This is not what my life is about. So I made some hard decisions to really look at myself, so to speak. You see, a lot of people, Lauren, they don't want to do the inner work. They want to focus on the outside world, and that's what society does. It teaches you to focus on the outside, not the inside. Your power comes from the inside. Everything that you're creating externally, you're creating internally first. This is the law. When I say law, I want to get real clear, guys. If you're listening to me, let me get real clear so you can keep up with the conversation. I'm going to give you an example of what law is. Not man's law, because man's law can be changed. Man's law has to do with geographical locations. Man's law has to do with how much money you have. God's law has nothing to do with that. God's law is irrefutable. It never changes. It's something you can count on all the time. Let me give you an example. Lauren, if you and I decided to go up on a building that was 14 feet or 14 floors tall or 15 floors tall, and you and I went to the very top of that building, let's take a look at something. You're a woman, I'm a man. That's different, right?
Right.
You're a white woman, I'm a black man. That's different, right?
Right.
I'm sure you have different beliefs than I do. I'm sure you have a different perspective on life than I do. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You may not be a Republican or a Democrat. Your religion may be different than mine. So what I'm saying is we stand on top of that building together, Lauren, with all this diversity within us. And you and I decide that we're going to jump. What's going to happen? The law of gravity is going to take over. It don't matter if I'm a man or if I'm a woman, if I'm black, if I'm white, if I'm short, if I'm tall, if I'm educated, if I'm broke, if I'm rich. The law applies to everyone. So what I'm going to be talking about today, guys, it's the law. So it applies to you. Now, you can choose to believe it or not. So, Lauren, if I got up on that building with you and I got in an argument, I said, Lauren, you know what? I don't believe in gravity. I just don't think I'm going to fall. I don't believe in it. Nah, I don't care what you say. I know you fell off this building before and hurt yourself, but I still don't believe you. Huh? I've seen movies, I've seen pictures, I've seen things that show me when you jump off a building, you're going to hurt yourself. But I get up there, Lauren, and I've got my disbelief. That ain't going to happen. No, 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 no. What's going to happen when I jump? The law of gravity is going to take over regardless if I believe it or not. The reason why I'm using that example, because the things I'm going to talk to the audience about today and the things we're going to discuss today, they're not going to believe it. Why? Because society has trained you out of this. I want you to understand you are a magnificent human being. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you're at. You are a magnificent human being with all power inside of you. You have all the power of the universe inside of your physical body.
Right.
That is the law. Every human being has DNA, don't they?
Right. Right.
Lauren, do you know what DNA really stands for?
I think well, from society's standpoint, let's just hear it from you.
No, tell me, what do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I believe that DNA is, again, very like 5D out of this universe. Like it's not more 3D. It's more, it's not just the blood. It's like, the molecules, it's quantum physics. It's all of that. But
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, like what people.
What did I just say? Didn't I just tell you the universe is inside of you?
Right. Yeah.
So here's what it is. Here's what your DNA is. You ready? I'm so excited, man, because when I found this stuff out and started exercising in my life changed immediately. It was crazy. Here's what your DNA is. Your DNA. It stands for the divine nature of the Almighty. What I mean by that, God is all things, God is everything, and you have that inside of you as well. You have the ability to create whatever you want. You have the biological tools to do so. Human optimization is just about this, teaching you how to unlock your full potential as a human being, as you were created. You have minimized yourself by the way you have been speaking to yourself. You have minimized yourself by the way you have been believing about yourself, your body, and your life. You are the reason why things are not showing up in your life the way you desire. There's no one else. No one else has the power. Not even our government. Not even your parents. Guess what? Not even God has the power to overrule your choices and decisions. God gave you the gift of that. And God will honor that gift. So you get to choose. You get to choose who you want to be. You get to choose what you desire to create. You get to choose what kind of body you want to walk around in. Do you want to walk around in a sick body? Or do you want to walk around in a healthy body? See, this is your choice. Do you want to walk around in poverty? Or do you want to walk around in prosperity? This is your choice. And it's all about the way you speak to yourself.
Yeah.
Your internal conversation is absolutely critical to your external manifestations. That is the law. So, human optimization is about optimizing yourself, optimizing every aspect of who you are as a human being, living into your full potential. You see, at the end of the day, I've got a computer, Lauren, and so do you. That's how we're looking at each other.
Right.
We're using technology to talk to each other. I'm sure you have a cell phone, don't you? Yes or no?
Yes. Of
You got
course.
a flat screen TV in your house, Lauren? Yes or no?
Yes.
What's
Of
this?
course.
Hey, this is beautiful stuff, man. You
Yeah.
got a, and I'm sure you got a car in your driveway, don't you?
Yeah. Sure
Now
do.
watch this, Lauren. This is crazy. Watch this. All three of those are three different forms of technology, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you can't get on your computer and drive to the grocery store and come back. You can do that in your car.
Right.
Now you can actually watch a movie in your car because they have flat screen TVs in your car. Right? Look at this. Look how
Yeah.
wonderful this time
Yeah.
is that we live in. It's
Yeah.
all about perspective, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Cell phone. Now, all three of those electronical devices, they came with an instruction manual. Did they or did they not?
Yeah.
Inside of that instruction manual, I'm just going to use my cell phone, but it applies to all three levels of technology. My
Yeah.
cell phone I got from Verizon. It's an Apple phone. I came from an Android to an Apple, so I didn't know how to use Apple phones, so I had to open up the instruction manual. That instruction manual showed me how to optimize that cell phone. It showed me how to troubleshoot it if I had a problem. It showed me how to actually open up all my apps and use all the system's abilities. By just looking at that instruction manual and following that instruction manual and applying the things that instruction manual told me to apply to my technology, I can maximize, I can optimize that technology. Yes?
Yeah.
Now, here's the beautiful thing. If my phone gets messed up, I have a choice. I can open up that instruction manual and go to the troubleshooting area of that instruction manual, and I can look at the instructions on how to fix my phone. I can attempt to fix my phone by following those instructions. If I cannot fix my phone, there's a manufacturer email, website, and phone number where I can call the creator. And the creator probably going to be able to tell me what I'm doing wrong or help me do the things that I need to do, right?
Right.
So keep this in your mind now. Let me ask you another question, Lauren. When you entered your physical body as a human being, because you are an eternal spirit, this is the law.
Yeah.
It's the law. You're down here having a physical experience on a physical planet, creating physical things for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
This is really a game, but they have taught you to take the game too serious.
Yeah. Literally.
Well, listen, when you take this game too serious, you know what happens, don't you?
Yeah.
Depression and anxiety.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
Those are the side effects. So here's what I do. And I had to learn this myself after 38 years of doing this. You are a spiritual being entering a physical body. Your physical body is your tool of creation. And what I mean by that, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that you can create on this planet without your body.
Right.
Have you created anything without your body, Lauren?
No.
You have children?
Yeah.
You had to use your body, didn't you?
Right. Yeah. Yes. My meat,
You
as
couldn't even
I
do your
call it,
podcast. What'd
as
you
I call,
say?
I said, as I call it, my meat suit. And sometimes my meat suit is not what I want it to look like. But again, we're
You
going
said
back
your
to
meat suit.
choices. Did I choose this? I sure did. Did I choose, to be in this? Sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ownership is power.
Yeah.
You can't change anything until you take ownership for it,
Right.
no matter what it looks like. If you don't take ownership, you can't control it. You can't take power over it because it's someone else's responsibility.
Right.
So at the end of the day, here we are. You enter this physical body as a spiritual being, and no one gives you an instruction manual on how to work this body.
Right.
Do you know how to heal yourself, Lauren? I
I,
do.
I mean, yeah, now.
Yeah.
37 years later, but now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if they'd have taught you? They'd have said, Lauren, welcome to your human body. This is the way it works.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Lauren, this is the way you work your human body. And then if you had that understanding, I promise you, a lot of the things that have happened in your life would not have happened. It wouldn't have happened because you'd have had the clarity and the understanding to navigate through that. So at the end of the day, guess what? I teach people how to tap into their DNA, because when you tap into your DNA, everything else takes care of itself. Your vibration changes, your frequency changes. Every human being has a signature vibration. Every human being has a signature frequency. And if you want to know what your signature frequency or your signature vibration is, I call it your soul signature. Look at your archetype. Find out what your archetype is. See, I'm a lover. That's my archetype. That is my soul signature. That is my base frequency. That is my base vibration. I am a lover. I am an empath. I am here to help humanity to get to the next level. That's what I'm here for. I'm 100% clear about it. Now, it did take me a while to get here, and I had to ask those questions. What am I here for? What is my purpose? What should I be doing? Lord, show me, show me, show me, show me. And I did not stop until it was shown to me. Yeah. So I tell people this: you're never going to find your peace until you find your passion. They go together. So you must find your passion, and you're never going to find your passion until you look on the inside. Your passion is not on the outside. It's a reflection of your passion. Your passion's on the inside. And I promise you, 80% of you people that are listening to me right now, you're not doing what your passion is. You're afraid to.
Yeah.
How do I know that to be true? Because I was too. You see, I had a corporate job. I was an executive at a corporation, and I was afraid to become a personal trainer. That was my passion. My passion was not putting on a suit and tie and running that organization. That was my job.
Yeah.
And guess what? Someone said to me, one of my mentors said to me that woke me up, because I never looked at it this way. He goes, Tony, you have a job, don't you? His name was Elmer Gabriel. I'll never forget this guy. He was a millionaire. He said, Tony. I said, yeah. He goes, you've had a bunch of jobs, haven't you? I said, yeah, I sure have, man. I haven't showed him my resume. I was so proud of the jobs that I've had and the things that I've done. And I put it down. I said, take a look. Yeah, I've had a lot of jobs. He started laughing at me. Elmer, he said, hey, man. He goes, you know what a job is? I said, no. He pulled out a flip chart in his office. And he wrote J.O.B. He goes, look at it that way. I said, okay, that still says job. He said, yeah, it does. He goes, but you know what it means? I said, what? He goes, Tony, a job is the journey of the broke.
Oh.
He goes, they pay you just enough to keep you in the system, man. They never pay you enough to break out of the system. Even when you're making 6 figures, 7 figures, guess what you do? You buy more, you become financially committed to more, so you can't walk away.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm in this game called the Journey of the Broke, Elmer. What am I supposed to do? He goes, you need to find your passion, Tony. He goes, find out what your passion is. Find out what makes you happy. And I was scared to face it because my mom and dad, they told me I needed to go to college, I needed to go to school, and I needed to get a job. And I need to stay in that job for 25 to 30 years and retire and have a good life. That's what they did. So that's what they taught me. So I was following their plan, even though I knew that plan wasn't right for me. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. I had no clue why it didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. So one day I went home and I told my dad, I said, listen, I'm getting ready to become a personal trainer. I was surprised he didn't put me out of the house. Because remember, I decided to become a personal trainer back in 1985. Man, that sounds so far off, doesn't it?
Yeah. My God. Yeah. Yeah.
I know. Isn't that crazy? I was born in 1965.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So anyway,
older than I am.
Oh man, I'm reminiscing on this stuff. It's crazy because in 1985, I made a decision that I was going to become a personal trainer. And you know what's so crazy is when you make a decision to walk into your passion, do you realize the universe will bring confirmation that you're heading the right direction?
Yeah.
Just like the universe brings confirmation that you're heading the wrong direction.
Sure.
The universe's job is
to
teach you and help you navigate to what you've decided to do before you came here.
Yeah.
You see, I had no clue whatsoever. And this is part of the work that I do and help people to discover that you had a plan before you entered your body. Yeah. You had a choice and you actually created a plan before you entered your body. come down here and work that plan out on this physical planet. That's what you're here for. You can't get around it. Life itself, every breath you take knows why you're here. Life itself knows why you're here. That's why it pushes you around. That's why it bumps you around. That's why you don't feel good when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because guess what? Life is trying to talk to you and say, you're not on the right path you were created to be on. You got to get on that path if you really want peace. You're never going to find peace. You will not find it in materialistic possessions. You will not find it in your job. You will not even find peace in relationships. You may find peace in a relationship for a short amount of time, but eventually that peace is going to fall because peace is created internally. It's you and you. That's how you create peace. It's not you and someone else. That's not the way it's created. That's a condition. If you create your peace around situations, circumstances, and people, that's a condition. That's not peace. That means that condition leaves, so does your peace.
Yeah.
So your peace comes from your passion. You got to ask yourself what you're here for. And I've created a formula that I've found that be true. I mean, it's true with 100% of my clients. It just does not fail. Why? Because the law of your creation and the law of your being will never fail you, ever.
Yeah. 100%. Now, how can, where did the listeners find this? Is this on your website?
Yes, they can go to the website and find it. But what I want them to understand before we go there is this.
Okay.
You remember you talked about the logo.
Yeah.
And you can see it. You see that red circle?
Mm-hmm.
Every piece of this logo has a meaning. That red circle shows the fact that you are a circle. Whatever comes from you comes back to you, and it has to by law. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Whatever comes out of you must come back to you by law. Your words, whatever you speak, you create, it comes back to you. So you are a circle. And when you understand that you're a circle, then you can start acting differently in your life. You can start doing things differently. You can start making different decisions, different choices, because now you understand whatever you put out there has to come back to you by law. That H, here's what that stands for. H stands for you're a human. So you qualify. You qualify because you're a human. And here's what the 3 stands for. Remember I talked to you about the law?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the law of your being, man, not my opinion, not even your opinion. Okay? You have 3 distinct energy sources inside of your body that creates everything. It created your child, Lauren. I'm going to use your child as an example so people will understand if you don't mind. Can I do that?
Sure. Yeah. Her name is Lily. She's
Lily.
6.
Beautiful Lily. Okay, so let's take a look at this 3. What are the 3 distinct energies that every human being has in their body? Creative energies. Spirit, mind, and body is one. That's what you're made of. You are a spirit, you have a mind, and you have a body to execute the things that you're thinking about. That's what that body's for.
Yeah.
But your 3 powers of creation, pay attention to me now. I want you to pay attention to all the things in your life that you love, and I want you to pay attention to all the things in your life that you don't love, because you created it this way. Mm-hmm. Thought, word, and deed. That's how you create everything in your life. Nothing can come into material possession or material life without thought, word, and deed. Everything. Let's look at beautiful Lily. How did that work? Well, Lauren, you've seen your husband somewhere. Where'd you see him at? Where'd you guys meet?
She's part of an old relationship, my ex-husband. My husband now is her stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to click. Well,
oh, thanks for clarity. Okay, so let's talk about her father. The chapter. So
it was part of a toxic part of my life. Yeah.
Okay, but you got a glorious gift out of that toxicity.
Correct.
And it really wasn't a toxic part of your life. It was you learning what you really want, what you really don't want in relationships.
Right. Yeah.
That's the way that all shows up.
Yeah.
So here you are. You've seen her father, or he's seen you. Okay. Yeah. You looked at him, he looked at you, and you guys started having internal conversations about each other. Ooh, he looks good. Ooh, she looks good.
Yeah.
And eventually he probably walked up to you and started talking to you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened is he had that internal conversation for a while. This is the law of creation. Then he
Mhm.
finally got enough courage to walk up and talk to you. You and him started having a conversation. You talked about different things. You started meeting frequently and consistently. This is the way things are created. Okay. So
Yeah.
now, after you thought about it and now you're talking about it, you guys are talking about how much you like each other and how much you want to be together and how attractive you are to him and how attractive he is to you. And guess what happened? Some physical thought, word, and then the last piece, deed, your actions. Nothing can come into materialistic possession. Take action. So you and him, you guys decided to be intimate with each other. And guess what? Boom, Lily came.
You
Lily
got
was
it.
created. Lily
Yeah.
was created. You
Yeah.
see, all of us were created with this law. Everything in your
Yeah.
life was created with this law. So if you understand that, do you not have control over your thoughts? Yes or no?
Yeah. Lily
You
was there. I asked the universe for change. And in that moment, I was like, I didn't ask for this, but I did now. Fast forward years later, 6 years later, a couple years later, I'm like, she was the reason why I left. She was the reason why I wanted different. She was the reason, yeah, I can definitely see. I took my, you talk about responsibility and accountability, and I think that that is really powerful because humans, that's very hard, for humans to take that accountability and responsibility. And it's when you can see it from that different perspective of when I said it was a toxic part of my life, I guess that that toxicity needed to attracted that for that lesson. And it's like I needed to learn that lesson, chose to learn that lesson so I don't keep repeating that same pattern of like what I don't want. Because that was a theme of my life of like, I don't want this. Why does this keep happening? This is happening for me. What, like, how do I shift
were
it?
you
That
doing
kind
your
of thing.
podcast show at the time?
Um, I've had my podcast for 2 years, so no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I already knew what the answer was. I just wanted you to get clear about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So guess
So
what? All of that, every single aspect of it,
yeah,
every single aspect of it was moving you to your passion,
yeah,
your podcast show,
yeah,
all the things you're doing now. It
yeah,
was all necessary and needed. So guess what? It was a blessing. It wasn't
yeah.
a cursing.
100%.
It was a blessing. And now you can see it that you're down the road and you can look back.
Right,
That's why I said the universe is never against you. It's always for you.
right.
I tell people the universe has a very, very small vocabulary. You know
And
what
it,
it
it
says?
does. Yeah,
It says to you, no matter what comes out of your mouth, I promise you, this is the law. No
yeah,
matter what comes out of your mouth, here's what the universe says. So be it.
yeah,
That's a difficult one to deal with.
yeah.
So if you say I'm broke, the universe says, so be it. I'm going to
Exactly.
continue. I'm telling you, this is the way it works. I'm going to
Yeah,
continue to bring you opportunities, situations to reinforce your belief that you're broke.
right.
I'm going to make sure that you have life experiences to reinforce your belief in your words that you're broke.
Yeah,
The universe does nothing to support you. That's all it does. It's not created to hurt you, harm you. It's not even created to teach you lessons. You already know everything. I just told you you were a divine being, didn't I? Didn't I
yeah,
tell you you had all the power of the universe inside of you? So if you have all the power of the universe inside of you, guess what else you have? You have all the knowledge and ability of the universe inside of you as well. Are you scared? Do you not want to face who you really are? Do you not want to walk into the creative power that God created you in this human body? Aren't you tired of being afraid? Aren't you tired of being walking around with anxiety in your life, wondering if things are going to happen, good or bad? Aren't you tired of living in the past, dealing with your depression? Aren't you ready to wake up and say, I want the life that I want right now? You see, because the only thing that really exists, Lauren, is now.
right.
There is no past. There is no future. If you're thinking about your past, you're doing it right now. If you're thinking about your future, you're doing it right now. I'm going to give you a key. I'm going to give you a key, and I promise you, if you exercise this for the next 30 days, you're going to discover how powerful you are. There's two things, guys, I want you to focus on doing for the next 30 days. Don't be afraid. Some of you, when I say this, you're going to get scared. And there's nothing wrong with fear. Just don't let it control you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And understand what fear really is. It's false evidence that appears real. It's only real because you're making it that way.
Right.
So I have a challenge for you for the next 3 days. No, excuse me, the next 30 days. There's three things I want you to do that's going to wake you up. The first thing I want you to do is going to wake up your biology. You got to wake your biology up so your body can heal itself the way it was created to. So your body can give you energy the way it was created to. You are a self-rejuvenating, self-energized organism. That is the law of your biology. The reason why you're not experiencing that right now is because you don't believe that right now. And if you don't believe that right now, it is impossible for you to act on that right now. Your vibration and your frequency will unlock every desire that you have in your life. But here's what you have to do first. You have to change that internal conversation. There is no other way around it. This is the law, guys. What have I found, Lauren, that changes everybody's internal conversation positively 100% of the time? What do you think that is?
You tell them.
It's exercise, my queen.
Yeah.
It's exercise. It's intentionally exercising and taking care of your physical body. You don't even understand the message you'll be sending to your body when you start taking care of your body. You will start sending a message that I appreciate you. I am grateful for you. I am thankful for you. So when you show your body that you appreciate your body, when you show your body that you're thankful for your body, and you show your body that you are grateful for your body in the way you speak to it, in the way you treat it, guess what? Your body will start to honor you. It will turn back on. You'll start to have more energy than you can deal with. You'll sleep better at night. You'll heal better. You won't get sick as much if you get sick at all. I don't get sick at all. COVID came, you know what? I was kissing people. I was hugging people in the street. I was going to hospitals and talking to people while they had COVID, and I never got COVID. COVID was a different frequency than I am.
Yeah. I have to say, I worked during that time. I was still working at my 9 to 5 job, well, my 9 to, I don't know, 16-hour job.
Wow.
But it was when I just had Lily. She was 6 months old, and I worked with COVID patients. I was a high risk OB ultrasound tech. So, and I had my dad had lung cancer. I had a 6-month-old baby, and I was the one that was like, I don't normally get sick, and I was like, I can do it. I'll do it. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. They paid me more. I got to I didn't have to have a busy full day. It was like just COVID patients, all that. I just did that room. I was like, this is easy. Like, of course, yeah, pay me more and it's easier job. Sure. Like my job was really strenuous on my body. And, that was great. And then when I left, then my whole transition of like being an entrepreneur and not working at my 9 to 5 job anymore and all that stuff. And just, I always logically say this to people. Don't do what I did. Don't do that. Figure out how you can get out, don't just say, I'm not going back to work. That's pretty much what I did when I tried to move across the country and then I had to come back. I was like, well, I'm not going back to my 9 to 5 job. I'll figure something else out. That was my expectation of the universe. I'm going to figure it out. It's going to happen. And it always does. Every time I say like, well, no, I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's how my whole life has been. I'm not accepting this. This is not how it's happening. It needs to be different. And just having that
expectation. Well, no, what you're doing is you're absolutely explaining the laws of what I teach people in H3O.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do? Thought, word, deed. You had a different thought about where you were. You started speaking differently about where you were. You were very clear about what you wanted. You didn't want to work there anymore. You wanted new opportunities. Guess what? It showed up that way.
Yeah.
So you thought about it, then you started speaking about it within yourself, and then you started taking action because you couldn't go find. The podcast show didn't just drop in your lap. You had to go do it.
Right.
So you had to take action. Once again,
Yeah.
This is the law of creation. So if you'll stay with that same principle, that same recipe, you can create anything in your life this way. Anything, anything.
Yeah, and that's why before we started recording, when we were talking, I've always operated this way, and I never really could put words to why I operated with this way. And obviously, the awareness came in to nobody understood why I did what I did. And it's like, I don't sometimes understand what I do, but it's like I trust myself enough to know that this is what I want. And I've done both ways. I've done the opposite of the lack and the broke and the fear. And it's like, this shit's not working. So I'm going to do it the complete opposite way. I'm like, but what if this works? And then
Yeah.
just doing it that way. And it's like people think it's like
But
woo woo
the
and
fear, the
it's
lack, and all those things were they
yeah,
weren't working. They were
yeah,
just working in a different way. They were keeping you in fear and they were keeping you in lack.
right.
So I always tell people this is the law. You make a different decision,
Yeah,
different things have to show up.
yeah,
But the problem is people are not making different decisions. They keep choosing the same thing over and over and over again in different ways, and they wonder why their lives are showing up the way that they're showing up. Why? Because the universe has a very small vocabulary. So
yeah,
be it.
yeah. And I love that. And it's very simple. It's like if this is what you want, because it's so loud. It's like, I talk about this all the time with clients and I talk about this on the podcast a lot that if you want different, do different. And I know, and they're like, that's easier said than done. I'm just like, no, it's not that whole easier said than done is I never subscribe. Let's just say never subscribe to that because it's not. It's as easy as we make it.
Well,
So
see, listen to what you're saying. Once again, you're operating within the law.
yeah,
Words. Your
yeah,
words are powerful. You either speak blessings or cursings over your life with your words.
yeah,
You
yeah,
either speak good health or bad health over your life with your words.
right,
You speak good relationships or bad relationships with your words. People don't
right,
understand the power of their words. So the three
right.
things, again, I just kind of went off. I digressed a little bit. The three things I want your listeners to do at the end of the 30 days, you're going to wake up. You're going to be like, oh my God, I can live my life in a different way.
Yeah.
The first thing I want you to do is I want you to intentionally exercise, and I want you to do it for a minimum of 3 times a week. If you want to go more than 3 times a week, great. I want you to dedicate at least 20 to 30 minutes to your physical health, to your well-being, to the
Me
fact that you
included.
are worth it. You see,
Me.
you got to say to yourself that you're worth it. You're worth happiness. You're worth prosperity. You're worth good health. You're worth having a happy life. If you don't believe you're worth it, it will never show up. I don't
Right.
care what kind of affirmations you say. If the
Right.
undertow is I'm not worth it, but yet you're screaming out in an affirmation that you're worth it, guess what? The I'm not worth it is the strongest vibration.
Right. And I
So
think a
at the
lot
end
of
of the
people,
day, I need you to exercise. If you don't want to join a gym, that's fine. If you are a member of the gym, get your butt back in the gym. What are you doing paying for a membership and you're not even using it? Why are you not honoring your body? It's the tool of your creation. You can't create anything without your body. You better put it as a priority because you either pay now or you will pay later. What I mean by that, you take care of your health now or you're going to struggle with your health later. That's the law.
yeah.
Your future health has to do with what you're doing now. Didn't I tell you all you have is now?
Right. Yeah.
Start
That's
speaking to
that's
yourself now that you're healthy. Start eating healthy food now. Start
right.
saying that you are a healthy individual now, and then start taking action on your health. Intentful action. There's a big difference. I'm not talking about you walking up 10 flights of stairs going to work. You do that all the time. That's not intentional. Intentional means that you're
Right.
cutting out a certain amount of time and you're saying, I'm worth it. I'm going to exercise. Now, watch this. Let me show you how easy it is. If you live in a neighborhood, you can walk around your neighborhood for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If you don't live in a neighborhood, don't walk around in your neighborhood, but I still need you to walk for 20 minutes.
Walk somewhere for 20 minutes.
If
Yeah.
you're homeless, get your cart and push it for 20 minutes.
Yeah. If you don't have it
So,
home.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, there is no
Yeah.
excuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing I need you to do. I need you to do physical movement. I need you to do physical exercise because it increases your physical frequency. Guys, you don't understand how important this is. It'll break you out of depression, it'll break your anxiety. You
Yeah.
won't have those things anymore, they'll just disappear. You'll start to know how powerful you are. Why? Because you now are having positive internal conversation. Exercise does that to everybody all the time. There's no way around it. It is the law of your being. The
Science.
second thing I need you to do. Now, the exercise is the easy part. These two things are the hardest. And I'm going to leave the hardest one for last. I'm telling you, but let me tell you something, Lauren. You think I'm joking? You try it and see what happens. Because I know there's things you're reaching for in life too. We all are reaching. That's
Well, you called me out about the physical exercise. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I didn't call you out. Your spirit called you out. You already knew that you needed to be doing this.
I'm like, he's talking to me.
I gave you confirmation.
Yeah. No,
See,
I'm
here's
okay with it. I'm okay. I need the accountability. I like the accountability. So it was like, okay. It was just my reminder of like, Lauren, get back into the gym. I do physical things, but like I need to get back into the gym.
build muscle. Let me tell you something,
Yeah.
guys. Okay, I know a lot of you haven't been in this space, but I've been here for 38 years. Here's what causes aggressive aging. Okay, it's called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia means that your body is atrophying muscle as you're getting older. That naturally will happen. It's the biological law. Why? Because your endocrine system is changing. Your hormones are actually decreasing and declining, causes aggressive aging to happen. Exercise will slow all of that down. I'm telling you, if you want to find the fountain of youth, exercise. That's the fountain of youth. If you
Yeah.
want the real fountain of youth, it's your mouth. That's the real fountain of youth. It's your mouth. What are you talking about? What are you saying to yourself when no one's looking? What are you
Yeah.
saying to yourself in the dark? What are you saying to yourself when you wake up first thing in the morning? What are you saying to yourself when you go to bed, when you're laying in the bed at night? Are you thinking about all your problems, all your troubles, all the things you didn't do right? Or are you blessing your body and saying, I am thankful for my health. I am thankful for my life. I am grateful that I'm prosperous and I am going to sleep extremely well tonight. And I'm looking forward to waking up tomorrow and doing positive things for my life. Are you talking to yourself like that? It makes a
Now
difference.
I am. Yeah.
Last two things I need you guys to do. Here we go. For the next 30 days, this is going to be one that's going to challenge you, but you're going to be aware of what's going on. You're going to be aware that you're speaking against yourself. This has nothing to do with me. I'm trying to show you how powerful you are. I want you for the next 30 days, I want you to speak only what you desire. That means don't say anything else or let anything else come out of your mouth you don't want to manifest.
Yeah.
Be mindful of that. That means you got to slow down your conversation. That means you got to breathe before you speak. That means you got to be mindful about the words you choose and the words you use, because guess what? They are creating your moment of now. You've got to be mindful because you are the power of it all. So I want you to focus on only speaking what you desire. It's going to take you a while to master this. Why? Because you have been speaking against yourself for a long, long time. You started speaking against yourself when you were a child because they were teaching you things that were against your natural nature.
Yeah.
This is the law, guys. I'm telling you, this is the way it is. I wish it wasn't, but this is the way it is. The last and final thing I need you to do, remember what I said, I was going to keep the last one, the hardest one, for last. Three things that I would like for you to do for the next 30 days so that you can discover who you are, you can discover your power, and you can actually start feeling better about your life and where you're going. The first thing I need you to do is I need you to exercise. I need you to exercise for at least 20 minutes. And there's a reason for that. And if you want to know the reason, you can call me later and we can have a private conversation. But I want you to understand the law of your biology. Okay, so when you're exercising for 20 minutes, what happens is your body gets the message that you're exercising, and then it starts to do the things that it needs to do, which is cellular repair. It starts to stabilize your endocrine system. It starts to give you energy and do the things that it was created to do. So that's the first thing I need you to do is exercise. 20 minutes, at least 3 times a week. You can walk around in your neighborhood. You can go back to the gym that you're a member of that you haven't been there before for a while, or you can go join a gym. You can do whatever you need to do. I strongly recommend within your exercise regimen that you have a resistance component or a resistance modality within your exercise regimen. You have to build muscle. Muscle is critically important. Why? Because it actually holds a higher level of vibration and frequency than fat. Fat has a frequency. Muscle has a frequency. Muscle has a higher frequency and a higher vibration than fat. So that's why I'm trying to get you to lift weights. Okay. The other thing I need you to do is I want you to speak only what you desire. For the next 30 days, I don't want you saying anything that you don't want to materialize in your life. I don't want you to speak ill to anyone because you know what? That's going to bring negativity back to you. I want you to speak only what you desire in certain situations. And if you can't, then just be quiet because you actually have more power in your silence than you do speaking. And if you want to know that a little bit more, give me a call and I'll tell you. I'll show you the law behind that. And the third thing I need you to do for 30 days is speak to everything as if you were God, because you are. I know that scares a lot of you, but take a look at your life. You've spoken into existence, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's kind of what God does. So guess what? You have that same energy inside of you. You have that same creative ability inside of you. Guess what? It will never, ever manifest until you take ownership for that, until you recognize it and acknowledge it. Once you acknowledge it and you recognize it and you start acting on it, it has no choice but to grow. That's the law. It's a seed. Have you ever put a seed in the ground and it didn't grow?
No.
It's going to grow.
Yeah. It's always gonna the trees. Yeah. No. I love that. So before we wrap up, thank you so much for all of your wisdom and this conversation. It's probably been no shade to anybody else, but this probably been one of my favorite conversations because it's like on the level of frequency, I'm like, somebody else understands. I mean, I talk to a lot of people all the time, and it's just like, oh, they don't really get it.
Well, I didn't get it either, Lauren, but let me tell you how I did get it.
Yeah.
See, there's a wonderful place called YouTube, and a lot of us know what that is.
Yeah.
So here's the frequencies I want people to start off with. I want you to go to YouTube and I want you to search 528 frequency, 528.
Okay.
I want you to start listening to that frequency. Why? Because that frequency heals and repairs your cells. Every cell in your body, when you put that 528 in your ears, every cell in your body is going to jump up and start rejoicing. Even the cells that are sick and struggling, they're going to actually jump up and start rejoicing. Why? Because they understand frequency. Why? Because they are emitting a frequency. You're speaking their language. 528 will heal you. You got a cold, you got a stubbed toe, or your back's hurting, or your shoulders hurting, or you just don't feel right. I want you to lay down, and I want you to put 528 in your ears, and I want you to pay attention to what happens. As soon as you stop listening to it, you're going to feel better. I promise you that.
Yeah.
The other frequency I need you to listen to, if you want more financial abundance in your life, I know we all do, because financial abundance is just freedom. If you want more financial abundance in your life, that's what you do. You go to YouTube, you search this frequency, 777.
Yeah.
You start listening to that frequency every day. As you're listening to that frequency, what do you want to say? I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am wise. Start speaking your positive affirmations when you are listening to that 777 frequency. Then pay attention to how the universe is going to support you. Because remember what the universe says, so be it.
Yeah.
The last frequency I want you to listen to, this will help you when you have questions about your life, questions about your business, questions about your relationships. You need clarity on anything. I want you to sit in a room and I want you to put this in your ear, 963. Go to YouTube, search it, go to 963. You got a question? Ask that question while you're listening to 963 and then be quiet because the answer's coming.
I love it. It's so interesting. I intuitively always do that. But the last part that you said, 963, I've always done that. And I've always heard just 963. And I was like, what's that? Like, okay. So I would always just intuitively be like, okay, go to YouTube, like you just said, and 963. And I didn't even put it to, I'm literally putting it together why I always did that right now. Of like, I
Yes.
would ask a question, or it's, I need to calm my mind down because I can't, I'm not allowing myself to hear it. Or I'm asking for all this stuff, or I see universal numbers on license plates or this or that. And it's like 222 333 999. Like, I'm like, oh, there's just too much numbers. Like, what are you trying to say to me? And then I realize when I'm quiet and able to sit down by myself and it's just quiet, I'm realizing that was the answer the whole time.
Well, you're not, the universe,
Yeah.
your life, your thoughts, your
Yeah.
creations, they are all nothing but a mathematical equation.
Yeah.
The whole universe was created by numbers.
Yeah.
That's why you see numbers all the time, Lauren. You are a chosen one. You are a leader. And God is showing you these numbers in confirmation, showing you that you're heading the right direction with your questions, the right direction with the things that you're doing in your life. You're heading in that right direction. The universe will always confirm to you why you came here before you manifested into that body that you're in right now, Lauren. I told you before you manifested into that body, you made some decisions to come down here and to do some things. You even made a decision to go through that call a so toxic relationship with your ex. You made a
Yeah.
decision to go do that before you even came down here, before
Yeah.
it ever showed up in your life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, taking ownership. You got to take ownership for everything because it's
Yeah.
part of the process. It's not perfection, it's a process. Life is not perfection. Life is a process. And even in that process, there is perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, now I make humor about it too. It's like, oh gosh, that was a really expensive lesson to learn. But yeah, no, you're 100%. When people start to realize, and I think more people lately are starting to wake up to the fact that they did choose this, and it's getting out of that I'm not a victim, or getting out of that, I call it the drama triangle. It's the trauma triangle, but I call it the drama triangle because it's like we are all a victim, perpetrator, or a hero at some point. And it's like, for me, I wanted to get out of that. And I still see areas of my life that I try to make myself a victim. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not it. Like, I chose this. And I think that's very powerful when you simply, if you listen, hopefully you got a lot of out of this conversation, but simply just from a frequency standpoint of this conversation, which a lot of people listening to this, they would not be listening to this if they didn't understand frequency, but maybe to deeper layer of, frequency and choosing. And that's the power of choice. Like I tell my daughter this all the time. You are so powerful because you get to choose. However, if you choose this way or this way, you're going to have maybe consequences if you choose the wrong, if you choose the thing that that is intuitively not for you. I mean, I'm teaching her to listen to her intuition. I'm teaching her all the things that, like, when you talked about earlier about the manual, hopefully, from what I have learned and through my experience and how intuitive I am, that my daughter will have, like, my mom always showed me this, or my mom always told me this. And I always tell her, I don't know the answer. But this is what mommy would do because I want her to make her own choices because she's going to need to make her own choices. She's getting into, she's in kindergarten and she's getting into the real world and she needs to be, I just want her to be a decent human. If I do nothing right, as long as she's a decent human and she has the tools that she needs, she can, manage her emotions and, regulate her nervous system and all of the things, then, I think that she's going to be better off than most people out here,
I'm going to tell you something,
Yeah.
Lauren. All the things you're teaching her, your parents didn't teach you.
Right. Yeah.
Remember, I told you evolution itself is growth. You
Yeah.
can't, it's forward movement. That's what evolution is about. So, absolutely, she is going
Right.
to be an amazing human being. She already is an
Right.
amazing human being.
Right.
If you want her to continue on that path, you must be the example to her yourself.
Right.
Because it's not what you say to her, it's what you show to her.
Right. The action behind it.
Because
Yeah.
life itself is going to train her up.
Yes.
No matter how big your faith is, or no matter how much you love her, life itself will touch her. And she's going to learn through life.
Right.
So, what I love about the fact is that you are an open minded woman. You are trying to help your child to find her path and discover why she's here. Because at the end of the day, I tell people, I can't answer that question for you. Only you can answer that question for you.
Right.
Because people always ask me, Lauren, they come to me and they say, Tony, what's my purpose? I'm like, I don't know what your purpose is.
People ask me that all the
You
time.
asking the wrong.
All the
Well,
time.
here's who you need. You need to ask that inner man or that inner woman, purpose is because they're the only person that knows. No one else external knows your purpose.
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody does. They can help you with your purpose. They can help you with your passion, but are they going to completely understand it? No. Why? Because God didn't give it to them. God gave it to you.
Right.
It's your gift. It's your purpose. It's your plan. It's why you're here.
Yeah.
That's what you got to discover. I tell people, man, before you do anything else, before you touch anything else as a human being, you better find out who you are first, or you're going to struggle in life.
Right. Yes. Which is why I like the system, I like the human design system or astrology because it helps you. People always say, why are you so obsessed with it? I said, because for the longest time I had questions that nobody could answer. And then understanding a system that now I can understand why this happened, this happened, this happened, my energy, it's quantum physics, it's science, it's all the things that I love and astrology.
What is
There's a
your
group
archetype?
for human design.
No, no, no. What is your archetype
For which system?
for you?
Oh, I the archetype in well, if the lens of human design, it's I'm a projector, so I'm a guide. I'm a teacher. I'm a role model. Like I'm a leader. So
There you go.
that's like through that. And I know like the other
I'm
reason
just
why I asked that. Oh. That's why I was like, because each system has like an archetype. So that's why I was asking that,
no,
for
no. My archetype is I'm a lover.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think now what archetype what did you use to find that?
I will send you a link,
Okay. I'll make
and
sure
then
the
you and
link is
then you. Let me
also
tell you something. It's going to trip you out. I'm going to send you a link. I want you to take the test,
okay.
and then I want you to read your results over a cup of coffee or tea. It's going to take probably about 30 to 45 minutes for you to read your results.
Okay.
But you better make sure you have a Kleenex next to you because you're going to be crying.
Okay. I'm
It's
a
going to help.
crier.
Oh,
Like
listen.
talking about astrology. I have a lot of water and air in my chart. So I don't have much fire, which is why a lot of the stable like relationships or I attract a lot of clients that are fire based. It's because it completes my element of like just everything like circle, like you said. It's completing. I love working like probably one of my favorite, best, ideal clients are, of course, I'm pulling their human design chart and their astrology chart. And I'm like, of course they have fire because it's the element that I don't have that I'm missing in things that make things flow. I like flow.
So how do you
Flow.
deal with a client, Lauren, when you're doing these astrological research on these individuals?
Mhm.
How do you introduce that info? I'm just asking. How do you introduce that information to someone who maybe never looked at that before or don't even believe in that? When you know, and I know that that's the basis of who you are because that's
Yeah.
where you came from.
Yeah.
How do you talk to people that may say astrology? Are you joking with me? There's no way.
Usually, I can't say I've ever, people find me through astrology or if they've already found, I don't have to, I can't say, and maybe I can or can't. I don't remember. Usually people find me from this what's human design or what's astrology or I'm part of groups or something that they want if I post something or I post a random question or something like that I don't convince them. They pull their chart or I tell them to go, I have a free chart
Oh,
link. So they find
okay.
me before that. Now, if I'm just talking to people, I immediately want to know what your human design is and what your astrology. I'm going to do your chart. Same thing with my husband. He's more like vocal about you must be this or you must be that. And I'm like, that's weird. Stop doing that. People, normal society doesn't like that. But now that he just does it and he doesn't care. Like he's like, well, whatever. You're probably a Leo or you're probably this. And people mostly focus on their sun sign, but it's their top three and their full chart that matters. So you really can't,
Have you noticed?
yes.
Have you noticed the circle of humanity that we're coming back to what we walked away from for so long?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day before we became so industrialized and
Yeah.
before we became so tech heavy, right?
Yeah.
They used to navigate everything what? With the stars. They used to look up at the stars.
Yeah.
Tribes used to actually make their movements and grow their crops and everything with the stars.
Yeah.
Everything was in connection with the universe. And we got so far away from it. What's happening now, it's a major, major, I'm going to say it again, major awakening opportunity for
Yeah.
humanity right now.
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing so much trials, tribulations, turmoil, turbulence, all of this craziness that's going on, not only in our country, but also on the planet, is just a reflection of what's going on collectively in humanity.